What's up, guys? I'm Madani. Now, in the NBA offseason, the Houston Rockets made a controversial trade, swapping Russell Westbrook for John Wall and a first-round pick. Most people were surprised this deal went through because John Wall has not been in the league for 2 years as he's been out with injuries. The biggest question mark was if John Wall can get back to where he was 2 seasons ago, when he was one of the top point guards in the NBA and was an all-star. With John Wall not having played 2 preseason games with the Houston Rockets this season, we're now able to see where John Wall is at and how he fits in with the Houston Rockets team. Now, we have to put into account the Rockets have not played with James Harden, Christian Wood, and PJ Tucker. However, at least we're able to see if John Wall still has his burst, his vision, and his athleticism. So the first thing we're going to get into with John Wall is if he has his burst back. We're going to look into if he can drive by his defenders still at a really high rate and still use his burst and his speed to get to the rim and finish with contact. On this play, we're able to see John Wall use a crossover to get to the basket, take contact, and still finish at the rim. This is an encouraging sign because we're now able to see that John Wall still has his quickness and ball handling that he needs to get past his defenders and is still not afraid to take contact and finish at the rim. Just to further show where John Wall is at with his quickness and ball handling, I'm going to show you another play where John Wall is able to use his quickness to drive right by his defender and to get an easy layup.
That was a tough angle, by the way.
Well, I tell you what, for a guy who had an Achilles tear, he still is fast.
Well, you heard the commentator on that one. Now let's move on to see if he still has that elite court vision. On this next play I'm going to show you all, you can see a great play call by Stephen Silas where Jae'Sean Tate and DeMarcus Cousins both come to the top and set screens for John Wall. Jae'Sean Tate then proceeds to cut to the basket while DeMarcus Cousins fades out and gets ready to shoot a three-pointer.
The rookie getting the start here in the second half.
He's watching Daniel House to start. Wall sets up Cousins. That's a 3.
Yeah, you got to get out to him.
Before I proceed to talk about John Wall's court vision, I just want to put it out there. This play by Stephen Silas is absolutely perfect. Now on to John Wall. John Wall executed this play to perfection. He took DeMarcus Cousins' pick and drove to the basket, drawing 2 defenders to just come and try to shadow him, while seeing Jae'Sean Tate was already covered for when he was coming to the basket. Wall was then able to throw over the head pass to DeMarcus Cousins, who was wide open for a three-pointer, and he proceeded to hit it. The great thing about John Wall is that he's very Chris Paul-like in his play style. We saw Chris Paul in 2018 thrive with the Houston Rockets, playing alongside James Harden because he was able to not only play off the ball, but also when he was on the ball, he was able to look at who was open and use his IQ to get open shots. Because of this, I believe that John Wall will be a better sidekick to Harden than Russell Westbrook was because John Wall is a much better playmaker than Russell Westbrook. He's actually a playmaker first if you see his play style, which was what Chris Paul was. And I believe that the Rockets can thrive if James Harden buys into this team and looks to go win a championship this season. Now, just to show you that John Wall still has that elite court vision, I'll show you another play just to sum up where John Wall is at in terms of his playmaking ability and in terms of his court vision.
And the rebound for Wall and the Rockets.
Well, Patrick plays under control for a 19-year-old. Nothing seems to faze him. There's that three-point by McLemore. Got to get out to him.
Now, the best thing about this play is that you can see John Wall is able to push the floor and keep control of the basketball while still being able to see who's around him and who's wide open. Now, this is not what you saw with Russell Westbrook on the Rockets. Westbrook did not always have control of the basketball when he's on the fast break. This caused a lot of turnovers and missed opportunities. I expect John Wall to be able to control the basketball and find the open man and finish when he has to when he's on the fast break. Now, in order for this John Wall for Russ Westbrook swap to work out for the Rockets, they needed to see if John Wall can shoot the ball. That was the biggest problem with Russell Westbrook as he was not an effective shooter. He was very one-dimensional when it came to scoring as he can only drive to the basket. But with John Wall, they wanted to see if he could at least shoot the ball a little better than Russell Westbrook to give the Rockets better spacing. In this clip, you can see how John Wall just comes down the court and takes a pull-up jumper three-pointer with no hesitation. This is what the Rockets wanted to see in him.
5. Lowry looking like a point guard coming off that screen.
John Wall for 3. He has 10 early in this game.
If John Wall can consistently hit the three-point shot, the Rockets can possibly have one of the deadliest 5-out lineups in the NBA, which would consist of John Wall, James Harden, PJ Tucker, Christian Wood, and DeMarcus Cousins. You would have to account for Christian Wood's athleticism, who's going to be a lob threat for both John Wall and James Harden, along with the great shooting threats of DeMarcus Cousins and PJ Tucker, who's one of the best corner three-point shooters in the NBA. That's going to cap off the video. That was my breakdown of what I saw from John Wall throughout the first 2 preseason games for the Houston Rockets this season. If he can stay healthy, the Rockets are going to be a fun team to watch. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you want to see another video.